Hi, this is Alan Hager for Desert Viewfinders Camera Club, Digital Competition May 2026. We had a little problem at the beginning, so I'll read you the points and awards for the first four. Then we'll go to the actual recording and you can hear the judge on all the others. Sorry for the inconvenience. And now, without further ado, here they come. First one, After the Rain, 9 points, got second place. Agua Caliente, got 5 points. My New Kia got 6 points. And the last one that wasn't recorded was Blooming. And Blooming got 5 points.
We usually have the people who get awards to talk about their images.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. No, I was just having a problem reading my own writing, but let's go on.
Okay. So I love this perspective of this one. It's telling a story up front, and it's drawing your eye right into the image. You've got a lot going on in the background with the flying birds and the lighthouse there is that pop of color that's drawing you right through. And actually, it's the same color as the eyes around the penguin. So it's a wonderful um, uh, continuation of that color that's drawing you through the image. And then the contrast of that blue sky really pops. So I think it's a great exposure throughout. The only minor little thing is we've got kind of a cutoff bird on the right-hand side. I don't know if you guys allow taking out anything, but I think I would have taken that out just to clean it up. But I just love it. I think it's a wonderful image, and I'm going to give that one a 10.
Okay.
This is pointy. I love the geometry of these. I always get this mixed up. It's aloes. No. Correct me. What are these?
You're asking somebody
Okay, anyways, we're gonna call it an aloe
Chicago.
today, and I'm sure I'm wrong. But I love the geometry, and then I love how the pattern is repeated again and again on as those leaves open up. And that makes it very interesting. Um, I think what might make this better for this, since it is so symmetrical, is maybe actually center it in the picture where you see it's got a little bit more room on the right than the left. I think making maybe more of a square. I guess this is a square, but I would cut it in and really emphasize that geometry and the repetition there of that one. Um, so I do like that. I think maybe a lower vantage point, and if you're like me, that might be difficult. It's not the getting down, it's the getting up. But I think that might be more interesting for this, or maybe even a close-up where you really zoom in and almost get more of an abstract of that to really emphasize that abstractness of that pattern. So this one, I think I also gave a 5.
Okay.
I love the viewpoint of this. That's really creative looking up like that, and that contrast of the saguaros and the trees, and again that contrast of that blue green and the blue, or yellow green and the blue is a nice contrast. So I really liked that. I'm gonna give this an 8 because also those tree limbs are really connecting all those saguaros, and it's drawing your eye throughout the picture. I think if that was not there and it was just a blue sky, this would not be as interesting an image. So I'm going to give that one an 8. On the nest, that's a nice close-up. I'm not sure what bird that is. Who's my birders here? Anyone know what that is? Not a quail.
Oh, no, definitely not a quail.
Well, it's a lovely, I love that the eye is tack sharp and that you're right there at his eye level. That's wonderful. Again, we've got that kind of hot spots on the lower left and then on the grasses that are drawing your eye away from him. So again, I would either darken that in or crop that out, just so that's not drawing your eye away from the bird. Otherwise, those grasses are kind of leading lines straight right into his eye, which is nice. So this one I'm going to do, I think I'm going to say an 8. If I can do an 8.5, we will. Okay. Next. It's my RV. I'm wondering if this is the same Kia guy or person. So this, okay, at first I'm like, okay, so this is instead of your RV, I guess. So it's a nice play on words. You got good symmetry of the car itself. Again, though, and it's good exposure, but again, it's not a terribly interesting subject to me. But what you did with it was nice, and I think the exposure is nice, and the symmetry and the cropping, so it's just straight dead on center is nice. So I'm going to give that one also, we'll also do a 6 on that one. Taking the beach. I can't tell that his eye is in focus. Is it? It looks like the focus is on his neck. Is that correct? I can't zoom in. So it looks like the focus is here on his neck and it's not quite on the eye.
Yeah, I think you're right. I believe the
Okay.
focus is further back.
Okay, so I think that would really make a difference. And to really highlight him again, I'm all about cleaning up an image. I would have taken out those bubbles around him. So again, you're not looking at things that are drawing your eye away because they're highlights. I would have taken those out, and maybe even darken that background a little bit just to make him pop a little bit more. So again, we got that real highlight in the front, we got the highlight in the background, and he's not popping out of that environment. So I was giving that one a 5. This is lovely with the toadstool. The detail is wonderful. It looks like they used a flash possibly, but it really stands out from the background. In looking at it, my only concern is it looks like, and it could have been on a hill, but the background looks slanted. And that gives it I don't know if that's adding to the whimsy or if it's making me want to go this way. And even if it was on a hill, because see it looks like maybe a telephone pole or a tree. If that was all just straightened, but then I guess that toadstool is going to be leaning more to the left then, isn't it? I'm not sure how to fix that. But I like that it's very tack sharp. They've got some great detail. I like the leaves at the bottom. Maybe in this case, don't crop quite so much. Let it breathe a little bit more. But that one, I'm going to give that a 9. And I know I just did a second one. All right. And portrait mode. Lovely car. Can't go wrong with an old car like that. I love, again, the symmetry of how it was taken, and the square format is nice. Background isn't great, but it is where it is, right? And I know this was supposed to be ground level, so he's down. I wonder if he even went down more and you're looking up into that hood might be interesting too. So this one I gave a 7.5. We're gonna go. I'm gonna give halves, sorry.
I have to tell you, I am not recording your halves. I'm rounding
All right,
down.
for me, I'm recording my halves to give me an idea.
Okay.
So again, I like that it's, you know, what might improve this is a shallower depth of field because that background's not adding to the story.
Mhm.
I would say that would be better if that was a, so we're gonna give that a 7 because of that. Okay, thank you. And next, eroded quartz on blue. I like the orange and the blue combination. I just think it needs to pop more, even if that wasn't naturally that way. Maybe bring the blue out a little bit more on the stone just to really give it a little more contrast. I'm seeing a little bit of darkening at the bottom here, but then it's lighter up top. So I'd almost would do a not a radial, a linear blending in at the top to make that a little darker. And it looks like the highlights are just a little bit too hot. I would bring those down a little, just a little bit, just to get a little more sharper contrast between those colors. Okay, so that one I gave it a 5. Cactus ground, so they literally took this one eye level, taken from the ground level. So this is the only one that actually did, as far as I can tell. So I like the certainly that view. I think it's just a little overexposed. And I'd like to see maybe just more more contrast again to make that and really something to focus on. So yes, you're looking at the spines and such. I would almost crop out that bottom part and just focus on the spines and make that a little more of an abstract again. Yeah, so because of that, I also gave that one a 5. It's a nice exposure on the clouds. Beautiful contrast with the yellows and the blues. This might have been just the other day, right? Sunday. One thing that draws my eye away is those trees at the bottom. Again, can you just clone those out? That would have been the cleanest. And then again, maybe it looks like there might be something off to the left that they were avoiding, but if you could have gotten that full cloud to the left, that would have, and to the right, and really just have that blue all around, I think that would make that a more stronger image. But very nice exposure on that for both the lights and the darks. So well done in that respect. So I'm going to give that oh, I'm really messing up here. I'm going to give that one a 7. And then the last one, Paintbrush Garden, which I was expecting something totally different. But I love this. Again, that's a nice contrast between the dark background and the light foreground. The only thing that's kind of getting me is this the close foreground that's out of focus. is really ending up blotching and interfering with the subject as opposed to providing a framing of it, if that makes sense. And then that one weed, I'm dying to pull, I would almost have focused just on the 2/3 on the left. And then maybe try to get to a spot where you have the framing of that foreground as opposed to it being right in front where it's kind of coming up into the space of the subject. So that one I'm gonna do a 6. So is anybody here whose these images belong to? Oops, Norwood, are you trying to say something? Unmute yourself.
So
Norwood.
let's see.
Unmute yourself.
Unmute.
Thought I had.
There
thought
you
I-
go.
I thought I had unmuted. That last paintbrush was
Was
mine.
yours?
I deliberately left the seed pods and the top sort of to give something unsettling in the image.
Okay,
I
okay.
felt that if I could take it out,
Mhm.
and it would be just another cluster of flowers, and I
There you
wanted
go.
distraction. And I noticed that you and almost every other judge can see into shadows that I cannot see on my computer,
Oh,
as
okay.
in the tree leaves on that thunderhead. It's
Uh,
completely black on my screen, completely dark. And I'm
they are
glad
dark
to
as
see.
silhouettes. Yeah,
Yeah, I had it completely as a silhouette on my screen. So I'd like to hear
okay.
about other people in the club. What do they see? Do they see into that shadow, or I could
You want to go
hardly
back to
tell in
that
the
one,
dark.
Wayne? Well, first go to his paintbrush one.
Okay.
So, and I understand what you're saying, and it's a different approach or a different style. I tend to have very clean images, and I know sometimes I even had someone say, "Oh, I know that's your image because it's almost so neat." And I know that's, not everybody's style. So I understand. So you're saying you left that long one, looks like a weed
Yeah.
in there on purpose. Yeah. So what I
Oh,
was
yeah.
looking at, you see the green, I don't know how to, I can't use this cursor. On the far right one, you've got that big blob of green in the front.
This,
Yeah.
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 So if that could have been more to the right and as a frame, does that make sense? As opposed to right in
Yeah.
front of that. And then
Yeah.
same
I
thing.
agree.
Yeah, same
I
thing
know
with these
that
others. If
myself.
you were maybe up just a little bit higher where it's just right at the bottom as a frame, and then you clearly see the subject, I think that would make it more successful in that way. And then, I don't mind that one little thing. It was more these green in the foreground that was kind of taking away. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So is the mountain storm yours also, or you're just asking about it?
Yeah. That's mine. Yeah.
Okay, let's look at that one. I thought you did a great job with the exposure of the range, the dynamic range looked nice. So yeah, there's silhouettes. I think if you're keeping them
Well,
in
they're completely blacked out on my screen. They're not even visible. And I notice that people who set their screens to match their printer, see into shadows that I can't see into.
okay. So what I was commenting on here is you see how on the left the clouds cut off. And was there more there without it being too wide?
There was a building there.
That's what it looks like because you got that little slice of brown there on the left.
Yeah.
So okay, so you did the best you could there. So you see that little slice of brown on the left, which is probably the building?
Now I don't see a slice of brown.
Okay,
Is
to
it
the
way down in the bottom shadows?
very left corner, there's an almost straight line from about below the yellow point down to the left corner. It's
Yeah,
probably
can't
the
see it.
start of that building. I would just take,
Norwood, are you seeing the whole slide, including the title? Can you
I see it.
Can you see the title?
And seeing the whole slide. Am I
and you're seeing the
seeing
title at the
whole slide?
bottom.
Yeah,
So Wayne,
I've got the big gray frame and I'm seeing
okay.
the title, but
So
I do
Wayne,
not see
circle
into
that
the
area
picture.
I'm talking about. Do you see it, Wayne, on the left? Right there.
I,
Do you see that
I
now,
see it.
Norwood? Do you see that?
Well, I do have a frame around the picture.
No, right?
No,
I don't think that's what
Inside
you'll be
that
seeing.
gray, there's a black line. Do you see it?
Nope, I don't see it.
Okay. Well,
It's
that could be the
that's
issue.
all dark to me.
But just look at that. If you don't crop it out, which you could since you're not going to be, since you already don't have the full cloud there, you could crop that out, just crop in a little bit more. And then I understand about having silhouettes of an object in front of something, but it should add to the image. So here, I think those little bits of trees kind of detract from it.
Yeah, I can't see
Personally.
on my screen.
So again, if that was like a framing of it, or if there's something, I don't know.
On
It
my
just feels like
scale,
you were just trying to avoid them. Does that make
yeah,
sense?
on my scale, I had printed them, edit them completely out in the sense that
Oh,
that
okay.
all the foreground is so dark that they are not visible on my screen, and they're
Oh,
not visible on
interesting.
my screen right here and now. I cannot see them.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Hmm.
Well, I do see them here. Okay. Are there any other images that were yours?
Uh, yeah, let's see the quartz on the blue
Okay.
rock.
So what I was saying there is it feels like there's not a lot of contrast in color there. And when I'm saying increase the color, I don't mean to saturate it so it looks unreal, but maybe just a little more contrast between that orange and blue to make it more interesting, a little punchier. So let's go to that one, Wayne. I think it's two back.
Okay,
Two
but
back.
I don't want us to
Oh,
spend
we already got an hour. Okay. All right. Is there
too
any?
much time until
That's fine.
we
That's
have
fine.
the
Yeah,
That was our biggest
course
group, huh?
established.
yeah,
Hey,
there's
Okay.
other things to look at.
can I
Okay, that's
say a
fine.
couple of things about two of mine? I'll be
Yeah.
quick on it. The
Yeah,
first
let's hear.
one after the
Yeah,
rain,
Kia.
That was lovely.
that that was actually shot from very low down up
Okay,
at
so
it.
that is against the sky.
Yeah.
Okay, that was nice. That was nicely done.
And the other one is my new Kia. My phone was on the ground
Oh my, I don't know how you did that.
shooting
Yeah,
up the well,
yeah,
I have one of those little turret things
yeah,
for a tripod.
yeah.
And so I put it on it and set it on the ground to get that. They were both from the ground because the SOM was ground level. So
Okay, okay. Well, good job. Good job.
Yeah, it looks
Um,
like a good.
I think I'm gonna go, so if you need your scoring, so Wayne, I'm assuming that the Magellan, the Penguins is one.
The Penguins just won,
Is it
and
after
then
the
we have 2 nines.
Toadstool and After the
Two in
Rain?
Pardon?
Toadstool and After the Rain? Is that the two?
Yes, and we need a
Okay.
second and third from those.
So I'm gonna give After the Rain number 2. Let's do Toadstool number 3. And then next would be, looks like On the Nest.
So, okay, on the nest is an HM.
And then Ant's Eye View. And then you need
Inside
2 more,
view
right?
is another HM.
And then it looked like Portrait Mode. and then storm. I think is what I got. That sound right? Does anybody have any comments? I mean, am I doing okay giving you constructive feedback?
Oh,
This
it's
is a
very
different
good.
kind of, this is a different kind of scoring than I'm used to, but so is it helpful?
Yeah, I think it's very good.
Okay. All right. So you ready for monochrome? We got 2, 4, we only have 5 here. Okay.
Okay. Okay, do you see the title now?
Yep.
Yes, monochrome.
A step back in time.
Okay.
Columbine.
Okay.
Tarmac Tales.
Okay.
Facing the Wind.
Okay. Go ahead. Oh,
Urban
I know where
Delivery.
that is. Okay. All right. All right, go ahead and start. And this is a variety. Okay. So that looks like it might be a infrared. So I love the old-timey look of it. I'm almost wishing there was a little bit more room on the left. It's a little tight on that bridge. And then maybe you could crop a little bit on the right, just so it's not feeling like it's so weighted to the left. And then I would say this left patch of grass or dirt could be darkened down because that's not really adding to the image. And again, maybe a little vignette or a little darkening in that top left, just again to bring the focus to that horse and buggy. So I'm gonna say an 8 on that one. And next. So that's lovely where you've got a nice sharp image with the out of focus background. A nice light. One thing that's drawing my eye is that bottom petal and the bottom, I don't know, the bottom corner, the one that's intersecting with the flower. Does that make sense? I keep saying, does that make sense? If that little pad could get darkened, then I think that would, right there, Wayne, yeah, that little bit. And it looks like the highlights might be a little hot on the little bit on the right. But I do like that it's nice and sharp. So I'm gonna give that one a 9. Okay. Tarmac tails. That's fun. I'm trying to decide if this is current, which it could be, but it looks timeless. Because even the clothing could be almost several years ago. The only thing that bugs me that I offhand is the guy's leg that's going through the other guy's head. I keep looking at that. otherwise, I think the story is the woman and the man sharing images, it looks like. But I do like the, what is this, a sepia blue? I'm not sure what you would call that. The blue tone is nice and everything's nice and sharp. So I'm going to give that one an 8 also. And I know I'm already in trouble. Go ahead. Facing the Wind. I love the symmetry here. And it's nice and sharp front to back. Plus fast shutter speed that it's catching the waves. And normally I would say go ahead and should have included the tail on that one bird, but I think that's okay because because it's such a repetition that that's okay that he's not fully included. So I'm going to give that one a 10. And then Urban Delivery. And this doesn't exist anymore. Because I don't think any of those people are still there. I used to work for Tim Fuller, the photographer. And there's a long staircase that goes up to Etherton Gallery, which used to be there. And I had to cart all of his lighting equipment up those stairs. One reason Etherton left was because Fuller, who owned this building, would not put in an elevator. And so where Etherton is now, it's much easier for them to receive packages and such and artwork. But all three of these people are gone. The lighting is okay. I like the side lighting there. I think it is you got some hot spots there, especially that wall on the left is a little hot. I would love it if it was not keystoned, if you could have straightened that up so that wall and that door is straighter, that would be helpful. But thank you for the little tour down memory lane. But I'm going to give that one a 7.
Say
Now,
again.
7.
7.
So I know I have a tie of 8s. So Step Back in Time and Tarmac Tales. I think I'm going to put Tarmac Tales above. Wait, we have 1, 2, and that's it? Just first and second? I don't need anything else?
Yes.
Oh, okay, so first Be Facing the Wind and second is Columbine. And Alan, you said you had one here?
Wait,
No,
wait,
I don't
wait.
have one in
Oh, I'm
mind.
so sorry.
Wait.
Wait, Wayne. First was Facing the Wind.
Oh,
And second was Columbine.
okay. Got
All
it.
right.
Okay. At this point, which we didn't do in the previous group, is we announce
Oh,
who the photographers were.
oh, okay.
So, first place is John Safransky,
Facing the Wind.
Facing the Wind. And second place is also John Safransky.
Oh, okay. He should have been here.
Yeah.
All right.
And let me just do the announcement for the subject of the month, but then we can go back to these in case anybody wants to discuss.
So we'll go back to those later. Is that what you said?
Yeah, let me just since we had a full discussion of the subject of the month, let me just name the
Okay.
winners. First was Magellanic Penguins. That was also John Safransky.
Oh.
Second, After the Rain, was Helen. Third, Toadstool, was also John Safransky.
Wow.
And the HMs were Ants Eye View, that's mine. On the nest was Kevin Newbert. Portrait mode was also Kevin. And Mountain Storm of Brewing was Norwood.
Okay. So that one got a little more spread around.
Yep.
Okay.
So
So does anyone have any questions about my comments for monochrome?
Well, once again, about hot. The white area on the left of the image that's on the screen right now
Uh-huh.
at Etherton.
Uh-huh.
I toned that down to where it measures 231 out of 255 on
Okay.
grayscale. So to me, how can that be too hot?
I guess just for me, because it feels so much brighter than what your subject is, it's again drawing my eye out. So,
Well, maybe that wall is the subject. No,
that may
like
be.
now on
Um,
my screen, it's well textured. You can see the
mhm.
sand
No,
on
I see.
the
Yeah, it's
distance.
not like blown out. I'm just saying it feels a little, the highlights just feel a little bit brighter than I would like in general.
Well, I
Um,
lightened up behind that door handle and that door handle to give a balance.
okay.
And of course, I didn't make it parallel vertical lines because I wanted an extreme. It wasn't
Okay.
that I
So
couldn't
that's, yeah,
handle.
so any of the comments I make is just what maybe I would have done. So this is your picture and this is what you wanted, then of course it's fine.
And I
You
had to stop and take a breath before I climbed those stairs
know?
again.
They are brutal. I worked for him for 7 years. So
But
no,
I'd
this
like to
is
know,
fine because this is the view when you're standing in that little vestibule, right?
yeah, and I like the arrangement of the light and darks there, and the fact that there were three of the
Mm-hmm.
mail holders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah,
neat place.
yeah, yeah. No, I see that what you're saying about the door and the wall, they're more matched, highlight wise. And that does kind of give a nice framing of those three mailboxes. So yeah.
As you say, it's your picture, whoever the
Hmm.
photographer is. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
And I'm hearing you say that you are adding tension into your images on purpose.
yeah.
So, that's fine. You've done that. So good on you there. So I think, if that was your intent, great. I'm approaching it as kind of traditional, um, you know,
Yeah.
what I would do
It
differently
needs
kind
to
of
be
thing.
a needs to be a discrepant event in anything to hold interest. Like as you said,
Mhm.
in the case of the man in the P-38, he's
Mm.
falling into the cockpit trying to relive his experience there 40,
Uh,
50 years ago.
okay.
Yeah, and this is
So
the
that's the story, but I'm not seeing that because I see it just a leg through somebody's face. Does that make
well,
sense?
that you
So,
can't control. Um,
yeah.
Norwood, that's a P-51.
P-50, yeah, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So no, I appreciate that. And that's why judging is subjective and take it with a grain of salt. I hope it's just kind of giving you some feedback and you can take it or leave it.
Yeah, that's the annual show of the planes at the Marana Airport.
Okay.
Oh,
I
that's
figured it was current,
yeah, it's pretty
but I
it's
like but I
fun.
like the idea that the clothing is not screaming at you 2026.
No, but it was
It could
fun.
almost be 50s, 60s.
Yes.
So that's
Okay.
good. That's a good part on it. So, all right. Well, good. All right. Look forward to seeing some more of your work.
okay, Open has 13 total, which is kind of light for our usual competitions, but since I don't usually run them, I'm happy.
All right. Butterfly.
Butterfly's lunch.
Okay.
The male and a nosh.
Okay.
From the gardens of Kukenafa.
Kuchenhof.
Kukenhof.
Okay.
Dragonfly Columbine meetup.
Okay.
Clouds with a silver lining.
Okay.
Purple fringed orchid.
Okay.
Watching the approaching storm.
Okay.
Yeah, something falls. It
Iguazu? Somebody's been traveling.
falls, yeah.
Yeah, Iguazu is right.
Iguazu. Okay.
La Entrada.
Okay.
Bunny.
Okay.
Dream machine.
Just go with the RV. Okay.
Sunset.
Okay.
Summer shade.
Okay. All right, butterfly's lunch. It feels like it's cut out on the background. And even if it is, there's a way to make that look more natural. The wings look very noisy, like the shadows were brought up, and it looks like the legs are in focus and maybe the antenna, but not the eyes or the body. So I'm going to give that a 5. Okay. Male and a nosh. I like this nice quiet scene. I'm almost wishing it was from this other angle to the right, like focusing on the male and the nosh. But then it's going to be intersecting with the lamp. But I think I would like that. Then you'd have a little bit more of a layers look to it. So I'm going to give this one a 6. From the gardens of Keukenhof, I'm going to guess. Kuchenhof. I am a sucker for tulips and flower pictures. Can you tell me, is that all sharp on where is it sharp? I'm having a hard time with my glasses. Sharp
The
on the left and the right, the
one
cups.
on the right seems to be just a little sharper on the top edge.
Yeah, okay. So I love the shallow depth of field. It might have been nice to get the ruffles on that second one in focus also, but the color's beautiful. that contrast of the white and the pink, and then I like the added color around it. So I am going to give this one a 10.
Okay.
And this one almost feels like it was over sharpened. Yes, everything's in focus, which is not easy to capture dragonfly in flight. They're easier than bees, I believe. But it feels a little crunchy to me. So for that, I'm going to give it, I'm going to give it an 8. It's probably technically perfect, but sometimes technically perfect is not what I want. Clouds with a silver lining. So here's an example of the silhouettes adding to the story because you have enough of them and it's kind of showing sense of place instead of just having a picture of clouds. So I like this much better in that sense. I would have liked to see a little more contrast, maybe let those go really black. Yeah, so for that, I'm going to give, I know I just said 8. I'm going to give an 8 to that one also. Okay. Purple fringed orchid. I love the sharpness all around except the center, which would be nice if those center 3 were in focus. Then this would have been great. I think that little bit of missed focus detracts from it. Wonderful separation from the background, wonderful contrast with the colors of the purple and the green. I think for that, I'm going to give that one a 7. I'm watching the approaching storm. It feels like it's, to me, a little flat. Again, I would like to see a little more contrast. I'm seeing like the greens, it looks like that saturation's been brought up. And it looks like from the top there was a gradient filter that maybe was a little heavy on the top of the mountains. Trying to bring in that sky a little bit. I think again on these corners, maybe bring it in on the corners and to really draw the eye more in. So that one, I'm going to do a 6, I think. Okay. Iguazu Falls, am I saying that right, Norwood? Nice depth of field. That's probably the only vantage point you can get of that. It'd be nice if it was a little more to the left, but yeah, I like that one. I'm gonna say I know I'm gonna get I'm gonna say a 8 on that. I know I've got 3 8s. We're gonna go back to those. Okay, then La Entrada. I love this black on the gold. Beautiful, simple, drawing you in from one gate to the next. I'm giving that one a 9. Actually, I may need to switch something. Can I give this one a 10? I'm going to give the flowers from Quake the Gardens a 9. I like this one better. Sorry,
Okay, 10
if
for
I messed
this.
anybody up.
And 9 for Guggenhof.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Then next is Bunny. Again, I don't think that is in focus, at least his eye. So I'm gonna have to give that one a 5. And this is in focus, perhaps a little slightly overexposed. I would say it would be better for this, maybe if you were straight on like the other car pictures and try to really control your background. So to me, this is a picture of a car, but not terribly interesting picture by itself. So again, for that reason, I'm gonna give that a 5. Then the sunset. I love as we call them, God's rays. It feels like this has been a little overdone though, because the colors look a little greenish to me. And I'm seeing a couple of, at least one spot on the sensor in the bottom right, dust spot. And one up at the top too. Oh, and a third one. I just found 3. So it feels like maybe the photographer is trying to really accentuate the rays to the point of making it almost too dark overall. So I'm going to give that one a 5. And the last, Summer Shade. This really needs some contrast. And I would even crop that in to really contain just the family. So what's at top and what's at the bottom, at the left, really isn't adding to the story at all. And I realize this is probably a snapshot, but it would have been nice to see like the reaction of Dad to the little girl stealing all the fries. So for that, I would give that one also a 5. So I have 3 8s, don't I, Wayne? Can I see those 3 again?
Okay. Okay, first is
It was
Dragonfly.
Dragonfly Columbine. That one. Okay. Next, Clouds with a Silver Lining. Okay. And then Iguazu Falls.
Whoops.
I think I'll go with the Dragonfly. There's 3. And then the Falls 4. And then the Clouds 5. We need one more.
Oh, hold on.
Oops, sorry. Okay. Oh, and then the Orchids.
So La Entrada is first,
Uh-huh.
and
The Gardens of Keukenhof.
is second. Yes.
And then
Okay,
third
then-
was the Dragonfly Meetup.
Okay. And
Iguazu Falls.
so
Number
clouds with a silver lining is an HM.
Right. That's number
Iguazu.
5. Yeah.
Iguazu Falls is HM.
Yes. And then Purple Fringed Orchid, it looks like, is the last one.
Yeah. Okay.
So who took
Right.
these pictures? Who took La Entrada?
La Entrada is Gary Rumack.
Oh, nice.
Second, Guggenhoff is Linda Rumack.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Dragonfly Columbine is John
I
Safransky.
knew that. You didn't have to tell me. Okay.
And Clouds with a Silver Lining is Alan.
Okay.
Fringed Orchid is John Safransky.
Okay. I could have guessed. Yep.
And Iguazu Falls is also John Safransky.
He's the one off on traveling, huh?
Yeah.
So, Alan, do you have
can-
any questions about my comments for you?
No,
Okay. I really liked the trees at the bottom. Really gave it a sense of place, but I think just a little bit more contrast would have really made that pop. Well, good. I'm glad to see a few more different names there. That's good.
Would you do the summer clouds, summer shade, bring it up on the screen? I brought
Is that
my,
yours?
yeah, I brought my computer screen up to its maximum brightness because
Okay.
I wanted it to be a near silhouette.
Oh, it's not.
For
It's
my,
not a silhouette at all.
even in my brightest screen, it is, you can see the slightest detail. I didn't want it to be a portrait of the kids, the family. I wanted it to be how they appreciated the shade
Ah,
compared to the hot
so-
green grass in the background.
so I am seeing all
Yeah.
sorts of details on these three.
Yeah.
There's not a
Norwood-
silhouette. Yeah, not a silhouette at
Norwood-
all.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
man's head is a total black, the woman's head is
Uh-uh.
near total black, and the child has the slightest details. I can't make my screen any brighter.
We can
You-
see it. We can see it all.
Yeah, you need to get your monitor checked. Oh,
But I mean, it's on my Mac screen that I
Huh.
do the final look out because that's come as close as to the real colors.
I like the details that you see. I think my main comment was I would like to see the dad's response, his reaction more to the child. So that's like a story there and
Yeah.
not just them hanging out.
But for me, it was shade was the story.
Okay.
Yeah, and I did bring it up. I brought up one image so I could see all the family expressions and everything, but I didn't want that. That was
Okay.
not, that
So
was
again, Norwood, we disagree. That's fine.
Oh, but I'm distressed at not being able to
Yeah.
make my tonalities come up to everybody else's.
The way you want it.
Norwood, what you're describing is so different. There has
Yeah.
to be a problem with the black level on your screen. You really should have it looked at.
I might even get a new one because I don't like my keyboard, but this is a 2019 and I considered that a new machine.
Yeah, we're seeing much different. So
My previous one was a 2008 and it still runs.
Okay.
all right. And the last is creative.
Yep.
Mount Lemon Bluebird.
Okay.
Chinese Garden.
Okay.
Fire in the Sky.
Okay.
The Creature from the Corner Cabinet.
I think I know whose this is. That's cute. Okay.
Walking in the Rain.
Okay.
Summer Still Life.
Okay. All right. I love this one. At the color pops. You've got a sharp eye. He's looking towards you. The yellow in the wood is contrasting with the blue nicely. And the painterly look is nice. So I'm going to give that one a 10. I think it's wonderful. Okay. So this one, what I wrote down is I don't know what the focus of the image is. So it's it feels like a snapshot to me as opposed to purposefully bringing your eye to one subject. There is a repetition of the circles, the purple circles, the circular doorway, and maybe that could have been played on a little bit more of really maybe even cropping in a bit to include just the circles, like in on the right at the tree. So take out that section with the window to the right and maybe even crop in lower to really just really focus on the circular elements. So that one I gave a 6. Fire in the Sky. Great sunset, great colors. I have one question for creative. Is it just anything that is creative, or does it need to be something you've done to the image? Is it free for all?
It's free for all.
Okay, okay. So again, I think, again, it feels like a snapshot to me as opposed to more intentional of really creative. So I'm going to give that a 5. And the creature, I'm going to assume that's yours, Wayne.
How did you guess?
How did I guess? Very creative with the different objects. I think what might have helped is maybe not such a harsh lighting setup, unless that was intentional, of creating that shadow. But I love the object itself, and so even the shadow doesn't necessarily add to it in my eyes. And so I think more of a balanced lighting might have worked better here, and just really focus on the object itself because it's so whimsical and fun. So I'm going to give that an 8. And I love this multiple exposures and the colors. The other thing I might suggest is, again, I keep saying this, but add a little contrast. I know it looks like it's raining and then it adds to that, and maybe that's why that softer contrast is there. But I think just a little bit more contrast might really make those colors pop. So I'm going to give that one a 9. And the Summer Still Life. Nice combination of colors, the reds and the greens, the oranges. I think the choice of that background didn't really add too much. It adds some texture. But I don't know, maybe it's the angle. I think maybe a straight down shot might be better. And then really playing with the forms of those different fruits. So maybe arranging them more purposefully in choosing what might, nest together or something like that. But the color combination is really nice. So I'm going to give that one a 7.
So we have Mount Lemon Bluebird as the first.
Mm-hmm.
Walking in the Rain is second.
Mm-hmm.
And you stayed out of trouble.
And so you're third with the creature. So whose was the bluebird? Is that yours, Alan's?
That's Alan's.
I
Yep,
could have
that's
guessed. Yeah,
mine.
that's lovely. Really love the colors on that. Just everything about it. It's just lovely. Walking in the Rain. Is that one of the Rumex by chance?
Yes.
I've seen some of their ones in Japan. Yeah, it's a wonderful color combination, but I guess I just would love to see a little more contrast there, but nice.
The other giveaway is they like to put a lot of effort into picking the borders.
Ah, okay. That's true because the one on the flowers. Yeah. Well, it does complement it. Okay, and then yours. So tell me about yours, Wayne. Did you purposefully choose? I know you know lighting, so did you purposefully choose the lighting to do this effect?
Yeah, I wanted to make it look like an eerie scene from
Ah, okay.
1950s horror movie,
Okay, got it, got it, got
or
it.
as I call it, science friction.
So in that respect, you were successful. I just love your creativity in finding these just objects and making something fun out of it. It makes me laugh. And you even got lipstick on the face on the well, is that his lips? I guess so. I don't know. Well done. Love your creativity. Right. Well, thank you all.
So
Go ahead.
I just want to know if anybody has for any further questions.
Or any comments about my comments? Were they helpful? Were they totally out of
I've got
left
one
field?
question if I can ask.
Yeah.
I like the people in the rain. If we go back to that one, I love the picture. I do agree you need just a little bit more color and everything. But what if there was a red umbrella over in one of the, say, the quadrant, maybe, for uh, rule
For
of
a punch?
thirds or something? What
Yeah,
would you
yeah.
rate that? Would that make it it's a different picture, I think, but
Yeah,
um,
I've
I
maybe
seen
think,
another one of theirs where they had a row of umbrellas and it was just lovely and they had some red ones in there and it
yeah,
just popped. So if you're okay with creative, you can probably do anything you want. They could change the colors of one of those umbrellas if they wanted. I think it's more, it looks like they probably made the choice of keeping it soft because it's in the rain, and that's
yeah.
certainly a conscious choice. For me, I love punches of color, so that's again my personal perspective that I'd like to see a little more contrast so it's not so misty. But I'm
Well,
a
I
desert
like
girl.
this.
I'm
I
a
like
desert
this
girl.
very. I took a picture like this in San Francisco at uh, the food place where the on Saturday morning where you go get uh, you know
Oh,
farm stuff.
yeah,
The,
the market,
yeah,
the
the
fish
market. What do
market
you
or whatever
call
it's
that?
called.
The
Uh,
no, it's not fish market,
where
but
they
it's
throw the fish or no?
uh, no, it's well, I didn't see that if they did, but I just saw peppers and
Oh yeah, yeah, I
stuff
know
like
what you're
that.
talking about. Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
supposed to be one of the great ones in the world, and we had a
Yes,
ball there.
yes.
But I took a picture like that up on the side, and I got home and I said, well, maybe I should have waited. But I had an umbrella and a camera
Yep,
and a steady rain,
yep.
and but this one I think is a
It's
successful
lovely.
picture, a very
Yeah,
successful picture.
it's lovely. It's
The,
lovely, and
the
it gives
one,
so.
that.
So maybe on my darker screen, I've got the punch that you're looking for. It looks
Maybe,
great on my
yeah.
screen, and
I,
Um,
d-
I feel red might be it would be a different picture, but it might be too obvious.
That
yes, I
could be
think you're
because
right.
you don't, this kind of blends together and I like those soft colors. I think just a tiny bit of, I'm not saying like in your face saturated, but just a tiny bit, maybe just to have a little more definition. But then, the more we talk about it, this is in rain and, the front people are in focus and more defined, and then the back ones are not. So that's a nice way to lead you into the picture. So that's well done right there. Um, so I think like if you made that right green one red, your eye would go right to that and maybe nothing else. So it might be too much. Because see, look how she's got, or I don't know, was this Linda's or Gary's?
This is
Probably
Garrett's.
letters.
Okay, so you've got the light
Very
green as your second level, and then you see another green in the back right, and then another green in the back left. It's stair-stepping you through the image.
I I agree with all that, but it still bothers me that the only story I see is rain.
Ah,
And I got a lot of people here, but I don't see a story with them. I
right.
see rain. Okay, rains and umbrellas. Okay, but I
Mhm.
I would love if those two in the front actually turned towards each
Yep,
other to
they
talk
turned,
or
that would be
something.
perfect, wouldn't it? If they were
You
they
know,
kind of are a little bit. It's hard to tell, but I think you're right there if you wanted like if they were more the focal point and maybe that more of a separation from that couple behind them or in front of them, whatever that is. Yeah, I think you're right. If they were like 6 inches to the right
But also
and we're standing up.
it's a photograph of what actually was there.
Yeah,
With a painting, you can do what you just said, but not necessarily, but in real life, I mean, if you want to depict real life,
right.
you can control the subject.
you've seen their photographs. They stage a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I don't
They
think,
stage models and everything else.
Mm.
yeah,
They could have
you
very
might,
simply just asked those two to look at each other.
Possibly, if this is something
Very
staged. If it's not, and it is
Yeah,
just a
sorry, I didn't
snapshot,
realize how late it had gotten.
oops. If it is like a snapshot, I think it's a great capture of the color that's there. If we're always, trying to give some feedback on how to improve it, if it is something that you could control, that's something I would want to control is either wait till those people, maybe they're not walking and the rest are, wait till they're separated. That's a choice you can make.
if
But
I could
so
change,
I
if I
mean,
could
it is a
change
wonderful
anything,
image, but
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
if I could change anything, it would be I'd want to see all of the reflection of the couple that's closest to
Oh,
it.
I see that. I didn't even notice that. So far, so a little bit longer crop down below
Hey,
to
Yeah,
see
you,
Dad.
you can't
Dad.
control that.
Yeah,
Dad.
oh,
It's
I
the
didn't.
last peach.
Dennis, do you mind muting yourself real quick? Is he muted?
I'm
Can
going
you?
to.
Okay, thank you.
The thing that
Okay.
struck me about this is um, the technique that it seems to
Hmm.
emulate. It looks like a pencil
Hmm.
drawing filled
Hmm.
in with pastels.
Yeah,
Right.
yep,
And
yep.
so it really makes it look painterly or like a pastel, right? And that's very well done. So Norbert, on your point, instead of it being a square, if that was a rectangle, a vertical, then you'd have those reflections of those people, and that might be nice to include
Yeah.
that. Yeah, because then what you're emulating is those power lines in the background. So that would be a nice, again, a lead in through the image.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe when uh, Gary has a chance to watch the recording, we'll get his reaction to the
Okay.
comments.
He's welcome to call me. I've talked to him before, so yeah, I'd be happy to talk to them.
Yeah.
And then go back to what was the other one? Well, Alan, can you tell us how you did your image
yeah,
with the
this
bird?
I
Is
was
that from an original image?
yes,
Okay.
I was up at Mount Lemon and out the where they sell the candy and
Mm.
all that and
Mm-hmm.
that wooden thing. And I was sitting there and this bird just came in and landed on the rough wooden floor and started eating popcorn that people had dropped and all. And I took all the popcorn out because I thought it didn't help. But he was just watching me take his
Mm-hmm.
picture. you know. But he,
I think it's lovely. Did you punch up the color on his feathers?
yeah, I punched it up
Yeah.
just a little bit because I took the color behind him down a little bit because I wanted him to pop out
Right.
from everything but that one piece of lumber he's standing on. You know,
Yeah.
it's got more color than any of the other.
Right, right. And that gold is a nice complement to the blue.
Yeah, that's
Really nice. And so this is just in Photoshop. Is it like the Painterly
it. It's
filters?
in Photoshop using their oil base, uh, oil paint
Okay.
filter, and there's about 7 different brush stroke types in
Okay.
this. There's like 3 of them on the bird, and then
Yeah, you see it's
the
softer there.
the,
Yeah.
the yellow log that he's standing on got a stronger brush stroke, and then the
Mm-hmm.
back ones, the far back on the right
Mm-hmm.
is a softer one, and the stub
On the
behind him
left.
that
Mm-hmm.
there got a different one. Just
So it's given a nice dimension and depth to it.
yeah,
The only thing I just saw, do you see a little blue above his top knot in that back?
yes,
Maybe
see.
tone that down so the blue is only on him.
Yeah. I
I
I
just saw
never
that.
noticed that
Yeah, and there's
before.
a tiny bit of blue in the wood there, but that's okay. I think because it's right behind his head, that's detracting from him popping out. But yeah, that's love. That's so that looks like a painting itself too. And see, you've got a little bit of blue in the wood that in that long line,
Yeah,
which is nice because then that's pulling the blue throughout. It's just that
yeah.
one that's just above his head. Yeah, very nice.
So that's easy enough to take care of.
Yeah. So I like to use that softer brush on him and then the rougher on the wood. That's a nice choice.
You know, some of his feathers are much less brushed
Hmm.
than others.
You almost had him looking like a pheasant there with that top feather,
The little
the top wing
knot.
feather.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very nice though. That's good. Okay. Anybody have any other questions or comments? I'm glad we had some people interacting. I prefer that. It's much easier on me because I like to know how you create or what you had in mind. Like Norwood, you know, you've got a different aesthetic or a different style than I do, and that's perfectly fine. I've had people critique my work and I'm like, I don't care what you said. I like my picture. And that's perfectly fine. So as long as you're getting what you wanted or intended, go for it.
Well, as long as my creature got into the awards, you don't have to worry about a midnight visit.
He deserves all he gets.
I always look forward to your creative things, Wayne. That's fun. They're fun. So,
I'm
oh, and
glad we
Dennis,
have
are
a
you
small
talking
enough
because you're,
I'm
oops,
glad we have a small enough club that we can get this conversation with the judge going and with each other and
yeah.
actually learn something rather than just hear a remark.
That's what I would prefer. It's just the same thing. And that's what we kind of changed with CCT is it's more of an emphasis on the give and take and the feedback to learn than it is to just rank people. Because, you know, us competitive people, we still want to be in there, like, right, Wayne?
Yeah.
We still want to be in the top, but I do get more out of really talking to somebody and getting their opinion. So,
Yeah. Going back into history of CCT, when the judging scores just took over the club and everybody was fighting about
oh,
scoring, and one of the judges says, I don't care about the photographer, I just care about the score. That
oh,
blew up the club, and
oh,
it took Ted Fleming to bring the club back together.
oh
It was
my.
really a hot time.
That's a
And
shame.
And
That's
one
a
of my photographs was of a child running through a green parkland, and Mexican child, and he had his little soccer ball, and he was kicking and pushing along, and his dad was sitting on the top of a seat in the way in the background, observing thing. And the judge, who actually was one of the founding fathers of CCT, he said, "This is not a picture that should show up in a competition," and that just blew everybody up.
Why?
And we
Because it was a
got a
child or what?
declaration. We got a declaration made that all forms of photography were equal within CCT's judging. Well, that's been forgotten over time,
Mm,
but it was an interesting period.
that's too bad. Well, I feel like we've kind of, well, I've only been here in that group in a few years, but it feels like it's evolved or it's more of a learning approach, which I hope you're feeling. I don't know if you've participated in competitions there, but the past couple of years, it feels like it's more of a learning approach and really getting people that can do this same thing of doing a give and take and give a critique, but not be too harsh, but do it more of this is how it could be improved. That's what I'm feeling. And now I have disagreed with what they've said. But again, it's subjective. It's totally subjective, you know? So
I wanted to say something about the crunchy dragonfly.
mhm.
I have a print proudly hanging on my wall.
Of that.
No, of
Yeah.
a dahlia flower
Okay.
that I put into competition at the Camera Club back in Illinois. And it got thrown out of the awards, and then after the judges discussed it, they kept it as a backup. But their comment was that outline on the leaves isn't real. Well, I hate
Oh,
to tell you,
interesting.
but dahlia leaves have a bright green edge.
Yes.
So,
They just don't know their flowers.
yeah.
And that one is probably technically perfect. Sometimes for me, I want a little more um not so much perfection, but a little feeling in a photo, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
So sometimes when everything is so sharp that it almost doesn't seem real, even if it is, that detracts for me. Is that
Well, I wonder if the sharpening had been backed off, you wouldn't be able to see all those fine webby little lines and
maybe? I mean,
details.
so that again was a choice.
Yeah.
I think it was just a gut response from me. And after seeing perhaps the other images that I know this was probably the same person and not trying to detract at all.
Linda is just coming in here.
Linda,
Linda Rumack, yeah.
let's see.
And I'm going to
Oh,
have to leave because I have a
okay.
dog that won't leave me alone.
Okay.
So thanks
Well, I've
very
got
much
some
for
time.
the
I'll talk
subject
to her if you'd
there.
like.
Bye
Thank
for
you,
now.
Norwood. See ya.
Bye.
So you said she's coming on?
Yeah, Linda, are you there? Hello, Linda.
So I didn't notice you don't have a time limit on your images, right? It's anytime? Or is it just the creative that's anytime?
We have, I'm trying to remember, I think it's the 5 year.
Oh, okay. So it is longer than
presently,
CCT. Okay.
except for subject of the month, uh, has to be taken after the subject was announced, which
Oh,
is typically a year to a year and a half ahead.
okay. Okay. And ours are typically 18 months, I think, just to get people to get out there and do new stuff.
Yeah.
So, okay. So is she coming on?
Linda, can you unmute? Hello, Linda.
She's not on yet.
Well, maybe not. From Linda Rumack to everyone. We are here in a hotel with family, but I cannot hear you guys.
Oh,
Nor
shoot.
can I let you see me. Okay.
Do we want to?
Videotaped it, Linda, so you can watch the video, hopefully.
I'm typing to her.
Okay, thanks. Do you want to stop the recording now, or is there anything more?
Yeah, I think I'm going to stop